Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending where you are hearing me. You see, a lot is happening in Nigeria. A lot is happening. It appears that the government don't know that the poor masses are suffering. They don't know that there's no food in the land. I don't believe they know, because if they believe, with this kind thing they just do today, make me to understand that it's either this government they are insensitive, or they don't even believe that that people are suffering. Maybe they believe that we are just shouting, people are just shouting that they have. Because if they can believe that people are suffering, I don't think that the kind of money they send today, they will never do it. Please just listen to Arise News and see how much that they send today that they want to spend. Just listen to Arise News. Not my word. Listen to Arise News.
100%. Now, on to our next story, which highlights the crucial oversight function of the legislative branch of government, as reports indicate that the State House spent 244,654,350 naira on the purchase and supply of tires in a single day. Now, this expenditure is not at all surprising, as the 2024 appropriation bill allocated over 350 million naira for tires, with an additional 6 billion naira for the purchase of new motor vehicles for the State House headquarters. Now, furthermore, 3 different offices under the federal government, the Office of the Chief of Staff to the President, the FCT administration, and the State House Office of the Vice President, have received budgetary allocations exceeding 9 billion naira for the renovation or construction of residences for the Vice President. Now, as you can see, this includes residents in Dodan Barracks in Lagos, residents in Aso Villa, and the new resident that we recently saw being renovated and commenced by the shown off by the Minister of the FCT. Yeah. Now, this extensive spending, over 9 billion naira, for the residents of a single individual in a country where children are dying from malnutrition, in a country where workers are begging for a living wage. A minimum wage increasing 60,000 is no longer a living wage in a country where 60,000 cannot buy you a bag of rice. However, we have over 9 billion going to residences for the Vice President, and we have over 6 billion going to purchase of new cars for the State House headquarters. In a single day, a sign-off of over 200 million naira to purchase tires. Rufai.
Aliswa, it's shocking. You see, that 9 billion you were even talking about is minus the 21 billion. It was after that, after the renovation for Dodan Barracks and all of that. And you know, the shocking thing about the renovation is after they renovated Dodan Barracks, the president doesn't even stay there. Anytime he comes, he stays. He's our neighbor here. You know, it's just that during Salah, he didn't give us rap. He's our neighbor here. He comes around. He stays body law here, but he didn't give us rap. I will call him out here, President Tinubu. So after that, they had the temerity to go and spend 21 billion on the VP's residence. And you can see tires, over 200 million in a day. And this is a country, the shocking part is where the tire industry has collapsed. Tire manufacturing collapsed totally. At some point, we used to have Dunlop, Michelin in this country. If those factories were working, if you had purchased from this industry, at least you will put that money back into the ecosystem. But we need to import. Yeah. Most of the cars you are seeing there on the presidential fleet that they bought, are they Nigerian-made cars? That's also the conversation. So how do you grow the sector when all of this frivolous spending is happening? As these spendings are happening, I would have loved a case where you plow that money back into this economy. But it goes ahead to show the kind of country we're on. All of this minus the fact that very soon, monies also will be put in supplementary budget to buy 2 private jets for them. And when we keep talking about the fact, you know, now they're trying to skew the narrative about debt. That's a shocking thing. The question is, now they are saying, oh, it's because of currency differential that the debt increased up to 24.3 trillion. They are saying the real debt is about 7-point-something trillion. It was currency differentials that made it go up to 24-point-something trillion. The truth is, in the space from December to now, your debt increased by 4-point-something trillion, and we are not seeing what we are doing with the money. The people are being killed by inflation. You cannot agree a minimum wage. Now you've pushed it back to the states because the states don't want to pay. You're saying you're still talking about it. And at a time where Independent evaluators are saying it will take over 104,000 naira to have decent wage for the people. You want to pay 62,000. Your people are feeding fat. You are buying more planes. You are having your best life. You are traveling as much as you can. You are having a good time. All your allowances are being paid, and the people are boiling. So the truth has to be said. Country no balance. The country is so poor because the leaders constantly make this country poor. And I'm not surprised. This kind of recklessness that is going on and this I don't care attitude. But guess what? The National Assembly will never reject it. They will pass everything freely. And that's how a country starts to deplete. But you see, the truth about the matter is that Nigerians are not even any better. Because when you raise this issue to Nigerians now, Nigerians will now divide across ethnic lines, tribal lines, religious lines, and say, no, when it was your own turn, when your region provide president, what did you do about it? Leave is our own turn. They will now remind you that they are standing on a mandate. They will remind you that you have no point to talk.
I wanted to ask because, after the national anthem, the first time it was sung, they did mention the fact that the 2024 supplementary budget was coming.
Yes.
Now, do you think that the National Assembly is doing enough oversight? And what do you think that this type of spending says about the priorities of the federal government?
Thank you very much, spot on. And I'm glad that in light of what's happening in Kenya, we've been able to draw parallels with the Nigerian situation. In fact, if you hear what's happening in Kenya, you think you're reading about Nigeria, where the people are complaining about the fact that the government is saying that we have to tighten our belt, yet it doesn't reflect in the way that they are spending money to also build. What is it about building houses and residents and renovation? What is
There's even a helipad coming to Dodoma.
What is it about that? Again, I would say that it demonstrates the fact that the political class are out of touch with the sufferings of the people. It's either that or they are completely insensitive to the fact that Nigerians are suffering. So either they just don't understand the level of suffering, or the fact that they understand it and they just don't, people will still survive. We are Nigerians, will take. But there's something about pushing people to the wall.
Yeah.
After you push them to the wall, they'll turn back. And that's what happened in Kenya. And that's why we've said it a number of times as we've analyzed the Kenyan situation. Let us learn lessons. Must we get to that point until we begin to, dial back and say, okay, we'll stop this, we'll stop that? They should stop it now before we get a situation like that on our hands. It is provocative, and we need to, have fiscal discipline in Nigeria.
Definitely. Now let's go on to our next.
I don't believe that they can stop it now because it is what they love doing. They love seeing Nigeria suffering. Until Nigeria will come out one day and say enough is enough, just like the Kenyan did, these people will never get sense. That is my belief. It will happen because when people are pushed to the wall, they will push back. Nigeria are suffering. People are suffering. Yet the government don't care. They don't care. So, my people, please, what is your take on this kind of money these people are spending while Nigeria are dying? Please comment, like, and share this video. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye for now. Bye.